using her computer, so she was like, "Well, why don't you set up my computer?"
Mm-hmm.
So I have nothing like like none of the bearded bro show stuff. Yeah,
He has nothing.
I have nothing.
I just went ahead and record because I was like, we're gonna get some good stuff there.
Oh man,
Um,
I'm glad we're not on camera because I'm wearing pink headphones with cat ears on them.
dude, that's sick. Would you? I'm sure it's probably the ones that I was looking at for. Actually, Ashley was looking at those for a long time, but they don't really make wireless ones for like Xbox or whatever. So, hello.
Hold on here. Wait.
Oh snap!
Obviously, a lot has changed because my setup's over here now. I know you said your camera's not working.
Yeah. I gotta rather get a new one or figure out the problem with it. But what is your new setup?
Well, this is my wife's computer. My computer is over there where I used to sit. And I don't know. She was like, "You like movies, so you should like put all your movies behind you." So that's what we did. Well, I have a tripod. We'll move that. I got a Killer Clowns from Outer Space candle.
Nice. I got a candle lit right now too, but it's crispy treats from Walmart. That was like the best one. Like the best one.
I got him right here.
Nice.
Yeah. And then I have Trav's care package. It's right here. Well,
It's
most of it.
real.
It's so real. Yeah, I have. These are all movies that I need to put away.
It's so bizarre too. Whenever like, because we've had situations where like you sent me something, I've sent you something, and then like we've stayed in like the same hotel in Vegas. There's just
Yeah,
like
it's really
always been
weird.
these things where it's like the presence of the other one is here, but we're not physically here together.
Yeah, yeah. For those of you that don't know about Trav's care package, oh, let me turn this camera a little bit here.
Like
Um,
2.0 or whatever.
yeah, you can like literally see in my backyard out there. We have a trampoline. Um, we got Brightburn on 4K, which I watched for the first time, by the way. Super good. Baby's really upset, so that
Isn't
sucks.
that the horror version of Superman or whatever?
Yeah, but it's really good. It's really good.
I forgot who
Um,
directed that.
I think Zack Snyder, if I'm not
Yeah, I
mistaken.
think so.
I'm pretty
The
sure it's Zack
Snyder
Snyder.
Man.
Pretty sure it's Zack Snyder. Yeah.
Supposedly he's gonna put the Justice League, Zack Snyder's Justice League in theaters. Don't know if that's a rumor or not, but yeah, I'd go.
That'd be
I'd sit for
crazy.
4 hours.
That'd be crazy. We got The Hangover 3. Got The Hangover 2. We got The Hangover 1. We got the Fast and Furious 9 movie collection. Because they just had to make 10 of them. You know?
Yeah, now they do have the 10. I think at Walmart. It's not discounted or anything, but I saw it has Fast X in it. I was like, that's tempting, but
I already own
I
Fast
already
X.
have.
So,
Yeah,
yeah. Yeah. And then, well, I might as well just show you. I got this.
nice, perfect.
That was good. And then I got a really cool documentary about Stephen King.
And we're both waiting on -1 because the physical
Oh,
Japan is lacking when it comes to that, but it's just because it's
yes. I
not
love
us.
this artwork on the slipcover.
It's a little cat in the background.
Very Stephen King. Yeah? Yeah. I love you. Happy birthday. It's my wife's birthday. She's just staring at me. It made me feel weird.
Happy birthday to Trista.
Trav said happy birthday. Immaculate. If you watch the first Omen, you could probably skip this movie. I don't know. It's kind of better than the first Omen, though, in my opinion.
I wouldn't know. I'm not the horror guy. You are, but
Yeah.
but you know.
And then
It's all
I
good.
got. I'll give everybody a sneak peek of what I found this month for movies and stuff because you guys get to watch that on my channel at the end of the month. This was sent to me. I have made a friend.
Video violence.
Yeah, I've made a friend doing this physical media thing who enjoys very obscure kind of 80s horror movies that are just over the top, cringy bullshit. And this was a 2-pack that he had sent me. So we got Video Violence 1 and Video Violence 2. So
That's interesting that it has a front and back like that. Never really see that.
yeah, it's a 2-pack. It's really nice. Really, really nice. Came across this at my local Walmart for an extremely discounted price.
Oh, nice. That is a nice cover.
Yeah, I was gonna like sell it, but because I already have it on 4K, but there's like a big old dent. I can't really show it on camera, but there's a big old dent and crease that runs up here. But it was like $15, but it looks so good. 4K.
You said it was 4K?
It's 4K.
Do you want to sell it?
Do you want to buy it?
I was thinking. We don't own Oppenheimer. Obviously, it's like on like your Voodoo, but
I own the standard 4K.
I think it's also, I'm looking at. Yeah, we don't own Oppenheimer. I'm trying to think, like, because we were thinking about rewatching it. We did go to the theater for that, but it's been a while, and that's just one of those movies. Like, you just have to kind of.
Oh yeah,
it's a lot to unpack.
It is. I own like just like the standard 4K, and I found this because it was like clearance. So
I'm trying to think what yeah, we saw it. Oh, nice. Kickboxer.
This is such a cringy martial arts movie, but it's so good. Such a fun time. I know, Trav, you'll appreciate this one. This was like the find, like the steal of the day. No pun intended, because it's a steelbook.
Nice.
Yeah,
Man of
pretty
Steel is
boring.
So underrated.
Pretty boring artwork, but
yeah. But I mean, it's nice that it has like there's nothing at the top kind of thing, whatever. Like
yeah. And then we got
Abigail.
This was a fun movie. If you're not even like a fan of horror, just watch this movie because it's fun. It's so fun. And then I got a classic right here.
I saw that at saw they were selling those at Walmart.
Yeah.
It's like just with all of those style covers. I forgot what it's based off of, but
yeah, it's just like a pop art thing, I guess. I don't know. And then this.
I still have never seen The Crow.
It's so good. It's on my Voodoo. But this steelbook is absolutely gorgeous. Yeah. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah. Well, we haven't done an official intro yet.
Welcome to the Bearded Bro Show podcast. We haven't said that in a really long fucking time.
I have not.
We're busy. Like, really busy.
Yeah.
You moved.
Uh-huh.
You got a new job.
Mm-hmm.
I got a promotion at work. I'm the store manager now. A lot of trials and tribulations for sure, but it's been great. Today is actually my wife's 31st birthday. Tomorrow I have a very fun-filled day of going to pick up stuff for another birthday party happening on Sunday because my baby that I had is going to be 1 year old.
I was about to say, I was trying to remember. I was like, I know it was really close to after Trista's birthday, so I was trying to remember.
2 days.
Which would be funny, too, because looking back on this episode, it would be really easy to remember when we did this.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I was just like, I was remembering that. I was telling Ashley that today because she got home from work and I told her I was like waiting on you, and then I told her I was like, yeah, I think he's gonna be 1 at some point soon, but I couldn't remember exactly when.
Yeah,
but
Sunday. He's gonna be 1 on Sunday, which is crazy. It is insane. It's so. Oh my god, dude! It
1
is.
year just flew by, like just like that.
Oh, it's crazy. It's crazy.
I mean, and with and since the last episode for sure, because I know we tried to come back and sort of failed, but but it's okay because things happen when they happen. But
it's just been busy.
Well, it's been busy, but also just I think especially I can't really speak for you, but I just let me see, how can I say this, like sort of the timing, I guess, of like the drive not being there, I guess. But also, it's like, but I try, but it's kind of work happens, but I've really just and this is just like a mental thing for me too, where I'm trying to get better at, is trying my best to not get sucked into the work life so much where you don't live. And that's something that I need practice with every single day. Where like you have to, it's like we work jobs just to go into the cycle of paying bills and stuff like that, and you get caught up in it. I mean, it's easy to do. I've done it 1,000 times, and I'm sure, you know, you're
Yep.
either dealing with that now or you've dealt with it before.
Yeah, and I know like our schedules now, like they were always kind of like crazy, but now they're even more crazy. Like Trav and I don't even talk as much as we used to. Like we do, like we snap
Yeah,
each
yeah.
other every day, but like
That doesn't count.
yeah,
That's
there's
just a
this
that's just a
literally
photo just to see the little number go up.
it's like I'm getting up and going to work, and Trav is like just
Well,
got
if
home
I
from
told
work.
Ashley this today, I was like, if we can keep up with the pod, like I think it'd be easier now than it ever has been, just because like our schedules are opposite. But honestly, my overnight schedule allows me to be able to do stuff in the morning. And
Yeah,
so there's always that, you know. And I told Dustin, I hit him with this idea. Hey, you want to record an episode? It's been a while, and like I was like, if you're down, you don't have to be, but like if you're down to do a morning recording, like that's fine. And since you were down for it, but I just was like, I don't want it be at just my convenience time. You know what I mean? And like but that's why I was trying to be like, I have a whole window, and I know you're more of a morning person than I am. So it's like
yeah.
whatever the window is for you.
Even on my days
And
off too, it's like I'm up relatively early. Today, I guess I say
as he
that
yawns,
as I yawn. Yeah, I was up a little later than normal today. And I had completely forgot that we had like discussed this. It has been a crazy week, dude. My like so a little backstory. I don't even know the
yeah, I was
last time
about to
we did
say,
an
let's unpack
episode.
that. I want to hear
Yeah,
about it.
so um you guys know for a while it was just me and one other guy that I worked with, and he was the other guy was the manager at the time. Um and he all of a sudden, this is back in February, like decided he was just done. I guess. We worked together one day, and he was like, yeah, man, like I'll see you next week. It was all cool. And then like a half hour later I get a call from his boss, who's now my boss because I rolled up to the store manager position. And she was like, what the hell's going on? Blah blah blah, put in his 2 week notice. Like, and I was like, it's news to me. Like, I don't know. I just worked with him. He talked to me perfectly fine. So yeah, I guess he put in his 2 weeks. And the next couple shifts we worked together, he didn't like really bring it up, and I didn't either. And he eventually got to a point where he was like, yeah, so I'm sure you heard. And I was like, yeah, you're leaving. And he was like, yeah. And it was this whole thing, and he was just like, I found a better job, whatever. And so he had taken a week off. I'll never forget this. He had taken a week off because he was having dental work done, plus he was getting ready to get married. So I worked every fucking day of this week. I had one Saturday off. And my wife and I had taken our car and dropped it off to go get it inspected. And we didn't expect to have the car back for a while because the guy that was doing the inspection was really busy. He said he would get to it at some point that day. So I had no car. I had no way to get to work. And that was the day that we'll say his name rhymes with wave. We'll call him. Fuck it, Dave. His name's Dave. I don't even care. I don't care. He doesn't watch this shit. Dave was supposed
Does
to
he
come
even
back
know
to
about it?
yeah, I don't think he does. Dave was supposed to come back to work on Saturday. Well, I was like hanging out. We didn't have a car, and I see because we have this app called GroupMe for work, and there's like a chat for like all the stores, like just the regular associates, and then there's a chat for like the managers. Well, he left the associate chat and the manager chat. I didn't see him leave the manager chat because I wasn't in it, obviously. And he had found out that they had offered me the store manager position because he was leaving. and I think that really pissed him off. Um, yeah, he came in like Saturday morning and acted like he was going to do shit, and then grabbed all his stuff, stole like $70 and left. Stole like $70 out of the register. Tried to blame it all on me. It didn't work, obviously. But yeah, I've been the store manager ever since, and it has been a wild ride. I can tell you now, I can see why Dave was the way he was with certain people, because I am dealing with shitty people. I managed to hire Tyler back, who I worked with when I first started that job. I got Tyler back in there. He worked with me all the way up until like June. And he went back to his old job because they offered him more money. So I couldn't blame him. Yeah, he left. I hired this kid named Anthony. Anthony was great, was really working out. I had promoted him to full-time because Tyler was my full-time guy, and he left. And not even 3 days after I promoted Anthony to full-time, he called me up at like 10:30 at night and was like, hey, I'm moving like 45 minutes away. Can't come to work anymore. Turns out he did not move at all. He still lives in the same place, 5 minutes away from where I live. He lied to me. So that was great. But my friend Eric, my best friend of 15 years, actually, the one who was the best man at my wedding, actually now works with me. And I'm trying to fire somebody, and that's been fun. So yeah, it's been crazy. I'm off these next 3 days, and I'm taking it all in. But yeah, I work a lot, all day.
Yeah.
Pretty much. And then my days off, I mean, it's like I'm off Wednesdays and Sundays. My wife picked up a part-time job because she was sick of being at home. So it's like I come home from work on Wednesdays, and sometimes she goes to work or she goes live, or it's like it's like we go grocery shopping, or there's stuff to do for the baby. So it's like even my days off, they're never really like days off.
That's
so,
honesty, Like it's not like you're saying like, oh yeah, I got all this free time, even for a couple or 3 days. Like really, it's I've always
I really don't.
Right. I've always viewed it like that too, where like even if you have 2 days off, which I finally started having the same 2 days off at where I work now, and it's been going a long way at helping just mental health in general, just because like I've always been a person that I do not do well being basically a slave to a job, like over and over and over, where like it's like some people can just work and work and work and make money and like be happy, but if I don't have my sense of freedom, I'm not happy.
I mean, I guess, I know your job's a lot more, I guess you could say, demanding than mine. I have a lot of downtime at work.
Yes and no. It's in a different way, but then again, you're a manager.
Yeah, I have a lot of leniency with my job, where it's like so it's just me and 3 other employees, soon to be me and 2 other employees, because like I said, we're in the process of letting somebody go. And that's been a nightmare, picking up those pieces. Hired this girl. It turns out she's a compulsive liar. Liar.
Gotta love those.
Constantly calling out of work. Like, I got a text message last week. Completely. It wasn't even last week. It was like the end of last week, beginning of like this week. And she's just like, hey, just so you know, I need off July 30th, 31st, August 1st, and August 2nd. And I was like, well, you are telling me
this. Time off request notebook or something, or they gotta just come to you?
They have to come to me, but I can't guarantee anything. Like, I do the schedule. Yeah. Like, my schedule is already like in the middle of August. Yeah. And it's like,
bless you.
Yeah, thank you. I can't work overtime. None of my other employees can work overtime. So, like, this employee, she has to be there. And I was like, I can't guarantee you those days off. Like, it's probably not going to work. And she was just like, well, I'm just not even going to be there. So figure it out, basically. And I was like, okay, well, they're unexcused absences, and that's a write-up. She's like, whatever. So then I get a text message yesterday saying she needs off the 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th.
That's
And I was like,
too long with no
I was
help.
like, I can't do that. And now she's telling me,
Yeah.
well, I can come back on the 9th and I can work the 7th. So I just need like the 8th off. And it's like, no, you need to fucking come to work. That's what you need to do. I work in
Yeah.
sales. I sell cell phones. That's what I do. We have monthly goals combined as a store that we need to hit. Just to give you an example, like this month we need 50 activations and 61 upgrades. So 50 activations, that's 50 new customers that we have to sign up for our cell phone service, which isn't hard to do. In the market, especially in the town where I work, we're the most affordable option that has a physical location. So a lot of people come to us. Like this month, we're at 46 activations. I need 4 more for my store to hit the goal. If my store hits that goal, I get a bonus on top of my bonus as a manager. I get a manager bonus. We can't hit that goal unless everybody is working their scheduled shifts and putting in the effort for new customers and even current customers. So like we have accessories. So we sell headphones, we sell chargers, we sell speakers, we sell tempered glass screen protectors, cases, like anything you can think of that you would need for a cell phone, we sell it. And we have a goal of selling like $2,665 in accessories total for the month. Okay. I have $1,200 in sales, just myself contributed to that $2,600 goal. Obviously, I'm beating every single one of my employees. Eric is understandable. Like this was his first real week on the sales floor, being able to make sales. But this girl that we're trying to get rid of, like, has only 500 something dollars. Like her individual goals. So, like I said, everybody individual goals, because when everybody hits those individual goals, it hits the store total, right? She only has to sell $660 worth of accessories. She's stuck at 500 because she's never there. She doesn't put in the effort. So it's just really annoying. Also, we had an instance where a customer came in and was like, he had a broken phone and he was like, what are my options? And she didn't want to help him. So she tried to kick him out of the store. And he's like, I didn't do anything wrong. I'm not leaving. She called the cops on him. He left, came back with his mom to try to fix the situation. As soon as they walked in the door, she called the cops on him again, started cussing them out and everything. And we can't have that. So terrible. Absolutely terrible. Yeah. I've heard some people say some pretty off the wall shit, but the stuff that I've heard come out of this girl's mouth just blows my mind.
So, just out of curiosity, who is responsible for hiring who you guys get? Is it you or is it somebody else?
So it's my boss. My boss is responsible for it essentially. But
You think he's just
say
hiring just anyone kind of situation? Something kind of
no,
like what happens at my store?
it did. We don't just hire anybody. So like basically, people apply. My boss sends me the application with all the person's information. I call them in for an interview. I conduct the interview and I send their information back to my boss, and she determines if it's a good fit. When this girl that I'm telling you about with all the problems got hired, we needed somebody. So it was like, but she seemed super promising during the interview. Well, quickly after we realized, yeah, this isn't going to work.
Yeah.
So there's all kinds of hoops and hurdles we have to jump through and over to with HR to like get her out of there. But I really think her cussing these people out and kicking them out of the store for no reason, because she told me
Yeah, didn't you say your cameras have audio anyway? Or do you know?
they don't have audio.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Well, it still probably has a certain look to it, too.
yeah, but
Yeah.
I was off that day and she called me and left me a voicemail. Then she called my boss and left her a voicemail describing the situation. The voicemail she left me completely different than the voicemail she left my boss. So it was two different stories. Well, then she came in one day when I was working on her day off to ask questions and then told me a completely different story from the first two. So then now we're at the three different stories. So then my other employee, I asked her, I was like, hey, did you find out what really happened with this whole situation? And this girl was like, yeah, because this girl doesn't like the girl we're trying to fire. She was like, yeah, she told me she was just having a bad day and didn't want to deal with them, which I
Mm.
feel like is the honest to God truth, because the kid did nothing wrong. He didn't slam his phone down. He didn't get in her face and threaten her like she said he did. It's all on camera. So she lied. And it's a nightmare. Those people ended up coming back in yesterday because me and my boss had talked to the mom on the phone, and I gave them all their options. They're super nice, sweet people, and it just pisses me off that she was just so ignorant because she was having a bad day and just didn't want to deal with it. So it's annoying. Don't be a shitty person,
Yeah.
and if you don't want to work, just quit your job. Don't. It's been an absolute nightmare, but it's to the point now where I schedule her like she gets like 1 day a week. So
Yeah, that's the strategic way right there. You get people to want to quit because it's such limited hours. My boss does that, but to people that she really does want to weed out, I guess. I don't really know. I don't know her full strategy, but let's just say I'm so happy we don't actually work with her. I've worked with her one time, and it was just me and her. And a lot of people always want me to repeat that story there. And like, didn't you work with blank one night? And I was like, yeah. I mean, it was just kind of annoying because she just kept making me do stuff. Like, she just kept me busy because she's the actual boss, as they're going to, I guess.
see,
But
I'm not
yeah,
like that as a boss. Like I'm very lenient with my people because like I mean, my job's not hard. There's days where you sit there and nobody comes in the store, like as long as the store's clean, I'm not like go do this, go do that, go do this, go do that
yeah.
because there's really not a whole lot
Well,
to
there's a
do.
lot of bosses that'll do that just because they specifically don't want to do it, and that's the problem.
Yeah, no, everybody
Um,
pulls their own weight there. I
yeah.
I
I
clean,
think that's how
my
it should be.
employees
Everybody should
clean.
be
Yeah,
adults for one, get along, and even if you don't get along, keep it outside of work.
yeah,
And also
absolutely.
don't just act like a normal human being. Like, I don't know. I don't think in today's world, I don't know how much normal is really left, but
Not a
but
lot.
it's definitely something. Um,
Yeah, man, it's tough, and it's just like I deal with that at work, and I have a lot of really really good days at work. I don't want it to seem like I'm miserable. I'm really not. I do have a lot of
yeah,
really
but
good
you
days
bring
at
that
work.
home though, and I don't mean that toward like kids and Trista or whatever. I just mean your own mental health.
Oh yeah, absolutely, and
You're gonna
that's
be exhausted, and like by the time you do catch up on your rest, it's already time to go back.
yeah,
It's kind of
yeah.
how it feels.
It has been one of those weeks where it's like I think the other night, man, I laid down at like 10 o'clock, and I was passed out. Trista was trying to talk to me, like she was texting me because like I had YouTube playing on my phone. I was out cold. I've been so exhausted, and I
Hmm.
mean like we have a really busy weekend. I guess today's a little more relaxed. It's Trista's birthday. I don't know. I'll probably take her out to eat something. We're gonna figure it out. But then it's like the baby's parties on Sunday, so that's where like a lot of our focus is. We ordered a cake and cupcakes, and we have to drive to Sam's Club tomorrow to pick that up, and we have to buy like a case of water, and um, we have to get all these drinks that we bought because we have like drink. So it's a Bluey themed birthday party. My son
Mm.
loves Bluey. So it's just like everything's so fucking coordinated with blue and orange, like the two main characters, and it's like we have to like we have like 2 or 3 big gallons of like blue Hawaiian punch, like
Oh.
4 things of like 2 liters of like Sunkist soda that we have to we have to get cold, plus like an entire case of water. We have to go buy ice. I bought an ice cream, like a soft serve ice cream maker. We
Hmm.
were gonna take that. We don't. It's there's so much stuff that just needs. It's crazy, man. Having kids it changes your life like you wouldn't believe. But it's also great. It's also great. Like it's a lot of stress, and like there's so much going on with this party, and like getting food and everything, and
Hmm.
what we're gonna serve, and like the time frame of where to do everything, and like but it's all worth it in the end, for
Heck yeah,
them.
dude.
for them.
Yeah, I was actually gonna ask. That kind of actually did remind me a question I did have for you. I was like, am I gonna save that for the pod or what? But I was gonna ask you, like, okay, you're in, you know, um, you already were technically a dad,
Yeah.
but like, having the newborn, like, how I'm just curious because obviously me and Ashley have not had a human child yet or anything. So, what's the real question? I guess the question is just like how do you feel? Like what's the difference with that? I guess being
So
like a stepdad versus like your own
here,
flesh and blood.
so I guess yeah. My situation's a lot different. Like if you have a kid, it's going to be a completely different situation. I came into my relationship with my wife with her having kids, and I've known her for years. So like it, I guess that made it a little bit easier. And I feel like there's this fear. People put this fear into you about having a kid of like, oh my God, your life's gonna change, like you're not gonna be able to do the things you love, you're gonna have no time for hobbies, anything like that. And I can tell you from experience with having two older children and a newborn that is not at all the case. Um, and if anything, like they make it seem like it's such a negative thing, but honestly, I feel like it's brought more joy
Mm-hmm.
to my life because now it's like you get to watch this little human, like develop into
Mm-hmm.
into like, you know, kind of gain this personality and become like this their own little individual,
Mm-hmm.
thing. It's crazy. It's very, I don't know, like
It's literally seeing life from the beginning. You're getting
yeah,
to see
exactly. Like
like
it
kind of what it was like for all of us in a certain way in a completely different kind of time, but it's kind of a glimpse
yeah.
of what it was like. And
Yeah, like, and I got like a really cute picture of him. Here's my lock screen. I'll try to show you. But like,
oh my goodness,
yeah, it's
it's
like
the hat, it's the hat.
yeah, it definitely brings a lot of joy. And I was scared. I was terrified. Um, because I've never raised a baby from like a
Mm-hmm.
baby.
Yeah.
I mean, there's tough days. You definitely have some tough days, some tough moments. My wife breastfed exclusively for a whole year now. Um, which is very 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 hard, when they get sick, you get scared. I know there's been times where we have left him to, with my mom and taken the older kids to go do stuff, and the pain you feel when you're not with your child, it like it's missing somebody. Like I don't even know how to explain it, but like it physically hurts. um
Yeah.
Being away. And I have moments, man, where I go back and I'm scrolling through pictures just to see him as like a little baby,
Mm-hmm.
it makes you sad. I kind of want to like see if I can pull something up real quick and just kind of show you a comparison of like how quick things change in a year. Like it's crazy. Like this is one of our first pictures. He was born July 28th. This was August 2nd of last year. Like this was my baby, you know?
That's crazy.
Yeah, to like go from that to, let me find the most recent picture of him here that I have, to go from that to like this, like
Yeah. Yeah.
it happens
Just one
so
year. It
fast.
is crazy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Kid came out with hair. I'll tell you that.
He did, he did. But no, man, it feels good, and I think, if when your time comes, you'll have that moment of like holy shit, it's really not as scary, and it's just like it's almost motivation to like do more of what you love. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like to introduce him to your hobbies. Grayson loves watching movies. Um, Grayson sees me reading books all the time, and he has little baby books that he picks up, and like,
I want to be
it,
like, Dad, let me open this.
yeah, it's just it's so cool, to like. it basically lets you be a kid again. I love sitting down and playing with him, like his little baby toys, dude. I wish, like, I was like, man, like I would play
Right,
with these
yeah.
toys, like if I was an adult. I mean, I do because they're all through my living room. But yeah, it's great. It's a great feeling. I know Sunday's going to be a very emotional day,
Mm-hmm.
and it's crazy now to see him like eat like real food. Like the kid eats potato chips and like hot dogs and like chicken and like broccoli. Like it's so weird. It's just yeah, man. Wow, it's crazy. It really is. It's crazy. But you know, like even if you kind of had the same situation as me with stepkids, like you love them all the same. Um, but it was hard. It was hard with them at first, especially with the oldest one because like he obviously knew and knows who his real dad is, but he also understands now that I'm dad. I'm going to be
Mm-hmm.
the one to love you. I'm going to be the one to take care of you. I'm going to be the one to provide for you and do anything for you. Know, like I would do anything for him. And he doesn't even call his dad now. He refers to his dad by his first name.
I've heard a lot of people, and I've heard, so I still listen to a lot of podcasts, like while I'm at work or whatever, and there's so many different ones, and like I forgot what his name was. I'm pretty sure he was a stand-up comedian or something, but somebody like that mentioned, like once you have a child, like because I guess he never knew really what love was or something before he
Mm-hmm.
ever had a kid, and then once you have, like, obviously you like love your spouse and like there's all that kind of version of love, but there's like a deeper, more connected love to like having like a child, where it like becomes like you don't know, like he didn't know what his purpose was in life until he had a kid, and then it was just like, oh,
Oh,
like
it's
to take care of a human being.
yeah. I
Like it's
love
like a
my
weird.
wife. I love my wife with my whole heart, and
Yeah.
I would die for her. But the love that you have for a child
Mm-hmm.
is unmatched. I have honestly never felt love like I have felt love for my kids.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like it. Oh my god, dude, it's gonna make me emotional just like thinking about it because like, god damn, oh man, like it really changes your life, dude. And I went from being told that I was never gonna have kids to having three of the most beautiful kids in the entire world, and
Why would someone tell you you're not gonna have kids?
it's just like I just thought I couldn't.
Oh yeah,
It wasn't like that. Not like it wasn't like a negative thing. Like, oh, you're
yeah,
never gonna have kids. It was just like I really thought I couldn't. And I know I've talked about it before. Tristan and I have tried. We have experienced a miscarriage, and that's when we found out she was pregnant with Grayson. I was so, and I kind of feel guilty about this. Like I was so, I don't want to say I was upset. I wasn't upset, but like the nerves, man, because like I watched my wife go through a miscarriage, you know,
yeah.
and that hurt. That hurt her. It hurt me,
Mm-hmm.
and I was scared. And I was just like, it's almost like I refused to believe she was pregnant. And it didn't take us going. It didn't take us until going to the ultrasound and seeing like him developing, where I was like, oh, okay, like this is real, and that fear stuck with me literally until the day he was born.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it's crazy, and I feel like experiencing that miscarriage and then having him to, you know, I'm not a very religious person, but I know that God definitely had a plan. You know, when we
Oh
had
yeah.
that miscarriage, and it wasn't in the
It's
cards,
always
and
on his timing, dude. I
exactly,
just got chills. Yeah, it's
yeah,
always on his timing, bro.
yeah,
Um,
yeah, and honestly, like experiencing that miscarriage again, like not being a really religious person, it kind of made me think a lot more about it. But yeah, God definitely had a plan, and God's plan all along was Grayson, and He gave me a wonderful, healthy baby boy who is a little ass kicker, man, and I love him to death. And it's just like, you know, when we experienced that miscarriage, we definitely weren't in the right place financially. Um, we weren't in our forever home, and it just the timing, it wasn't right. And you know, I feel like a lot of people when they go through that, you know, you may curse God and why did you take my baby from
mhm.
me? But like there's always a light at the end of the tunnel, man, and Grayson was that light for Tristan and I. And it's definitely like him being here and just the expense of having a kid, like, and wanting to give. That's my and Trista's biggest thing, is like wanting to give our kids what we never had growing up. You know, like, we got Aiden an electric scooter. It came today. Aiden is over the moon about this electric scooter. It was just because we could. We worked hard. I worked hard, and like, it makes me feel good that I was able. Yeah, sure, I worked a lot. Sure, I had stressful days. Sure, I had bad days. But to give my son the first birthday party that like he deserves, like that right there makes it all so worth it.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's another thing with having kids too, to kind of to put it in perspective for you, because I'm sure it's something you would eventually like to have yourself. It Every bad day that you experience at work makes it so worth it when you come home and you see, whether your wife's pregnant, just see the baby bump, and or you come home to actually having children. It is the greatest feeling. I walk through the door, I could have the worst day. I could have the worst day in the world, walk through the door, and as soon as he sees me, he gets a big smile on his face and comes to me. And it's like, and
Just
in
melts
that
away.
moment, yeah, in that moment, everything bad that happened to you is just gone.
Hmm.
It's gone. It's crazy, man. It is absolutely crazy.
I was talking to Ryan about this the other day, and I know like animals are definitely different than human children, and taking care of them is totally different. You can at least, I guess, leave an animal by itself for at least a few hours.
Yeah.
Dogs being a little different, but you know, you probably saw it on Facebook. Well, we've been fostering these kittens and everything. We did manage to get rid of one, and my sister gracefully took her boyfriend a little bit of convincing, but he finally said yes to her taking another cat, and grateful to him for that, because we're just lightening the load a little bit. But this sounds really crazy, and I'm gonna get deep for a second, but like I was telling Ryan about it, and we had like probably a 3 hour conversation the other day about the Bible and about God and everything, and
Mhm.
I it was just, it's like a recent sort of epiphany, I guess. Like, just even like, basically, rather it's humans, rather it's animals, rather it's just life around you, you could see God's love in things. I truly believe that. Like, so
Oh yeah,
when your kid
absolutely.
is like excited about you, or like you just this look, because it's like it makes sense, because if he created everything, then it's like love is in all these different things, and like
Mhm.
it's the ultimate battle between good and evil, and like what the Bible and stuff's all about. And so it like, even just this weird realization, just even like my dog, which is like this thing that has to be taken care of, or it basically dies. Like, I mean, I guess if she was out in the woods somewhere, she could try to survive on her own by eating something, or whatever. But like now it's to the point where it's like depending on human survival, and it's almost like you're I don't know how to explain it. It's not like a tangible thing you can really word, but just you give it food and nourishment, and then like it get, even dogs, similar to human kids, I guess, like they get that excitement when you come home.
Oh yeah.
Cats don't really show it as much, but they are excited in their
Mhm.
own way. But like there's like God's love is in the cat's eyes as well. But a dog, though, they just have that face. And
Yeah.
Pepper for sure has that face. And like, just, it was like this realization, because I had put the Bible down for a long time. You can call it that. I was, it's called lukewarm Christian for a while, and sort of just recently, and especially with the way the world is looking and the way that things are going, I definitely was like, I felt convicted. I was like, I'm gonna go to church
Well,
again. I'm gonna read my Bible again.
you want to know what's crazy? And I know we talked about things that are going on in the world. That shooting that happened on our former president.
Yeah, I meant
20
to open
minutes.
with that. I actually meant
20
to open
minutes.
with that.
Literally 20 minutes away from where I live.
Yeah,
20
which
minutes.
is just, yeah. I thought about that when I saw that on the news. I was like, "Oh, I wonder how close that is to Dustin." But
Yeah,
I
20
don't
minutes.
know.
Like my wife and I, literally, where that happened, that town that happened in,
Hmm.
is where we're going to go pick up the stuff for my son's birthday. That's where like we
I think they
traveled in that
said I
town
saw some
briefly.
footage of people just checking out the roof and stuff. You can just climb it kind of any time and just check it out. Like I'm not saying that's what y'all are gonna do, but it just kind of interesting that it's just like this public area.
Yeah.
But like I was trying to remember what I was saying there at the end. What was it? Basically, just you could see God's love and everything, and it's pretty. Once you start to like read the Bible and put things together, making sense out of like the love of the Lord and stuff. It's pretty crazy, like, because it's stuff that you don't usually think about. It's stuff that, the definition of stop and smell the roses, like, where you have these moments where you realize, like, the simple life is more fulfilling than this busy, like, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. And you know what? The thing is with that is, like, me and you, deep down, are creators. We love to create. We love making videos. We love, like, podcasting. Like, if we could write books and put them out, or just anything, make music, whatever it is, we would love to do that. But like, it just, like, people are so caught up in the busyness of go, 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 and they don't stop and rest. And there's scripture that says, like, you find your rest and you find your peace, and basically you sleep better than most because of it. And it's just, I don't know, not to go down that rabbit hole, but it just, like you said, how he gets so excited about you and everything, and it's not really quite the same, but it is. But we feel the same way about our animals, like, and that's one reason so far, because we've talked about it. We've talked about, like, when would the having the human child ever happen? And we're just not sure now because we already have a house full. We have so many animals, bro. And so to pop a kid on top of that, and just I'm glad that she's on the same page with me about that, though, because it's not really like a big emergency right now. But I mean, so if our purpose ends up being like take care of animals, then to me that's what's up, because we found those kittens, we've just done all these things. It's literally like 80% of our life is animals in some way, and it kind of, it feels good. It's like, it's not what I was ever expecting, but it's also, it's like one of those things you can put passion into,
Yeah.
not to like take a animal as like a hobby, but I mean, in a way they kind of are.
I have
But
employees texting me. I'm sorry. I'm trying to.
you're good.
I'm still like, even on my days off, I still have to be a manager. Lucky me.
But yeah, with the Trump thing, man, I don't know. Like, there's like everything online. I just
Here's my thing. I'm not a political person.
I'm not
To
either.
be honest with you, I can't stand either one of them that's running now.
Right.
I couldn't stand Joe Biden. If I had to pick, I definitely think that life was a little more affordable when Trump was in office. But that's this. I'm not trying to spark a debate or anything, but I mean, it kind of was. But regardless of how you feel about somebody, the man doesn't deserve to have his life taken away. And the worst part about it was there was a 50-year-old man that was there with his wife and daughter that lost his life protecting them because of somebody's hatred for somebody else. That's what pisses me off about that situation.
And I just don't feel like, as much as like the shirts and stuff being made out of that beautiful, which, by the way, shout out to that cameraman, by the way, that got that shot from underneath. Shots are being fired still, pretty much still. For all he knew, he could have been kept shooting, and he gets this shot underneath, and literally right in the background was the American flag, and the with the blood and the like putting his fist in the air. Insane shot. But also selling those shirts, I mean, it's nuts, because a dude
Somebody
died.
still lost their life. Yeah.
A dude died, and there was like somebody in critical condition or whatever. And
2 people, yeah.
like, you guys could leave in the comments on YouTube or whatever, like, if like what you think about any of that, like if you think it's all just like it was set up or whatever. Did
you see the picture of the flag before Trump went on stage where it was tangled up and it looked like an angel?
Oh yeah, I think I heard someone say like a bird or something. That probably could be either one, but I'll have to look that up. But yeah, I've been
See if I can pull it up.
doing some digging Just looking at, because I saw like the video, the news talking about they approached the parents coming out of a grocery store. I don't know if you saw that video, but they
Yeah,
basically were
I
just like,
did.
no comment, no comment, leave us alone. Which, yeah, leave them alone, by the way, guys. Like, it's not, it's, like, they just lost their son. Who knows if they are involved or not, but until proven, dude, that's crazy, bro. Like,
Hmm.
what? And then sometimes you don't even know when something's, like, just created AI or, like, or just, I remember because Ashley, the day it happened, said that she straight up thought it was just like not even real at first, that he even got shot at all.
Yeah, it was real. It was very
Oh
real.
yeah, yeah. It just like
Very
it
real.
was. It's insane. Um, like I don't know. So it's gonna be very, very, very interesting.
Yeah.
What how America unfolds over the next like no till November and on.
Yep.
Are you
Crazy.
gonna vote?
Nope.
You don't have
Not
to
even
say who you're
registered.
voting for, but huh?
Not even registered.
Right? We've like me and Ashley voted literally like one time, and so we're like, oh, are we gonna register to vote again or no? Because like I feel like it is important. I'm not saying that I'm becoming more of a political person, but all this stuff happening, I do find myself like looking at stuff and just trying to kind of figure things out. But like, I can tell you, I'll just say this: I don't really much care for the new chick or whatever Democrat. I don't know. The thing she says is just bonkers. So I don't know. I
And
don't know.
and I don't care for either of them. If I like I said, if I had to choose, if I had
Oh
to,
yeah, it would. Yeah, I would choose
I
Trump for
yeah,
100%.
100%.
Over her and anyone else any day. But it's
Yeah,
just I don't know,
it's just yeah. There's
something about like she's totally cool. I'm gonna go here. I don't even care because our podcast is very honest. So I'll just say it. But something about if we have to sacrifice this many children or whatever to do this, then we will do it. Like she's basically talking about abortion. Heck no, bro. Get out of
no,
here with that. Like
no.
freaking like yeah, I'm totally
She
okay with killing kids. I don't
she
care how
went.
small the little thing is inside the stomach. You're
It's
still
not okay.
killing a baby.
Yeah. Yep. No,
Yeah.
she
So
is. She sentenced an innocent man to life in prison for a murder he didn't commit.
yeah,
He
it's
was in
crazy. I
prison
don't
for
know.
17 years.
Other than that, I don't know much about her. But I can't always just sit and believe everything online either, because just so as someone news source said, oh, she said this. I like to do my research, actually go find the speech and stuff like that. So let's see. Let me try to think of something on a lighter note before we end. One more thing. Actually, what about our recommendations?
Ooh, recommendations.
Blowing the dust off of that one.
Yeah. Fuck. Read more books.
Yeah.
Yep, read more books.
It's just yep. That's
I
actually that's actually what Ashley's been doing. I don't know if you've seen it on TikTok, but her and her best friend did one of those like go stay at a hotel and read for like 2 days straight thing. She did one of those, so they are deep in. They
yep,
are in,
yeah.
and she
I set
is
a
like
personal
a
goal.
fast reader, fast reader.
I set a personal goal to read 20 books this year, which to some people who avidly read, that's not a lot of books. There are people that read hundreds of books a
Yeah,
year.
but you have to be able to take the time, and like you can't really read all the time at work, and like
Yeah,
it's
I
like
get sometimes I can read at work, and then if I read at home, it's before I go to sleep. That's it. I finished so far. I want to say I'm on my 15th book right
right.
now. Yeah,
I'm
I'm on my
just
15th book.
I I was telling Ashley the other day because I'm trying to make my studio very minimal. Like I've always had too much stuff. Got rid of threw a lot of stuff away when we moved from the apartment. But like I don't really, other than movies and stuff, I don't want to collect so much stuff or just have too much. Like it just gives me anxiety. Like just seeing too much stuff like in my space is just like it gives me anxiety. But like I listen to books more than I do actual read, but I do like the idea of having physical media for movies, yes, but for books, like, I'm just not much of a collector. Ashley is. But I told her the other day, I was like, we were thinking about rewatching Death Note. because it's been such a long time since we've seen that. And I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll actually read the manga for Death Note. Then I was thinking, if I get one issue of one manga, I'm gonna be hooked after that. Like I'm gonna be getting all of it.
You're
So
gonna get it all.
you
Yep.
know, just like I don't know. It's just so it's kind of like I have to be careful what I start doing because then I'll get addicted. Because I have a very addictive personality with that stuff. So
Stephen King is one of my favorite authors,
yeah,
and I've always wanted to read his books. And it started with like Pet Cemetery, and then I read it, and now I went down this rabbit hole of like first edition, like hardcover books. I have a whole bunch. It's crazy. I won't pay the prices a lot of people ask. I found apps and things where I've gotten them like really cheap,
by the
like
way, I'm
three,
just
four
looking at
bucks.
YouTube because I was curious. Our last episode was at the point of being over a year ago for it to say 1 year ago, and it was episode 57. And lo and behold, the title was "Entitled People Are the Worst." So I already know you talked about work at some point in that episode.
Yeah,
My recommendation is freaking just take time for yourself. Don't get sucked into the cycle of craziness because like all the toxicity and stuff is not worth your own mental health. It's not worth just not being able to take time for yourself and your family and find balance in life. It can be hard. You can get sucked into it, but especially don't go to work and get sucked into like the drama hole of just like, oh, she said. It's like you want to make money and you want to go home. Like do your job, have fun, yeah, socialize, have a good time at work when you can. I feel like with our workplace, we do try to do that. But there's just some times where someone don't get along with somebody else and then you get roped into the whole thing and it's like just like go to work, make your money, go home. No to just but sometimes just keep your mouth shut. Just don't like even involve yourself in the situation or else it won't even come your way. Like unless you need to intervene, which for Dustin's sake, he's the manager, he kinda has to, but you
yeah,
know, it's a different situation.
yeah.
But but yeah, that's that. We should do this again.
Absolutely. We'll find time.
But yeah. Alright, we love you guys. Talk to you next time.
Bye bye.